The Ottoman Empire had a dessert made from leftover beans, dried fruit, and wheat. It was eaten to commemorate Noah's Ark. Every household made it on the same day each year, and it survived the empire's fall. It was called Ashure, and it's only number 1 on this list. The Ottoman Empire took food extremely seriously. At its peak, the palace kitchen employed more than 1,300 chefs, each one specialized in a single dish. The empire conquered the trade routes that brought sugar, spices, coffee, and exotic ingredients from across 3 continents. And it invented or popularized dishes that still appear on tables across 30 modern countries. But some of what they ate would surprise you. Some of what they thought was medicine would alarm you. And some of their recipes are so strange that you have to see them to believe they were real. Today, 20 Ottoman foods that sound fake, all of them real. If you like the strange corners of history, subscribe. Number 1. Ashure, sometimes called Noah's pudding. According to Ottoman tradition, when Noah's Ark finally landed, the survivors made a pudding from the last bits of food on board, whatever beans, grains, dried fruits, and nuts remained. Ottomans ate it every year on the 10th day of the Islamic month of Muharram to commemorate the survival. Households would make huge batches and distribute it to neighbors, regardless of religion. The tradition is still alive in modern Turkey. Number 2. Tavuk gagsu, chicken breast pudding. Yes, actual chicken, shredded so finely it dissolves into a sweet milk pudding. The dish dates to the Ottoman palace kitchens and was specifically designed to be a luxury dessert for the sultan. The chicken provides protein and texture, but no chicken flavor when prepared correctly. It survives today as a Turkish classic that tourists always assume is made up. Number 3. Sherbet, not the modern dessert. The Ottoman sherbet was a category of cold sweet drinks made from fruit syrups, herbs, flowers, and sometimes ice brought down from mountains. The empire had hundreds of sherbet recipes. Specialized vendors carried backpack tanks of it through Istanbul streets. Some sherbets were considered medicinal: rose sherbet for fevers, tamarind for digestion. The English word sherbet comes directly from the Ottoman Turkish. Number 4. Baklava with actual gold leaf. The palace kitchen produced versions of baklava topped with edible gold leaf for the sultan's table. The gold provided no flavor. It was purely a display of imperial wealth. Lesser nobles received baklava without gold, but with elaborate sugar work. The cooks who specialized in baklava were a senior class of chef who could not be reassigned to other dishes. Number 5. Kuzu dolmasi, whole stuffed lamb. An entire young lamb was stuffed with rice, currants, pine nuts, herbs, and sometimes other smaller game birds, and then roasted whole. The dish was reserved for major celebrations. It required a chef whose only job was to prepare it and an oven specifically sized for it. Some palace kitchens had ovens that could fit 2 lambs at once for double celebrations. Number 6. Mesir makunu, a medicinal paste made from 41 different ingredients, including various spices, herbs, and historically, small amounts of opium. It was first invented for an Ottoman queen mother in the 1500s as a tonic. The recipe was so successful that the city of Manisa, where it originated, holds an annual festival where the paste is thrown from the top of a mosque to crowds below. The modern version omits the opium. The festival continues. Number 7. Pickled fruit at every meal. Ottoman meals included pickles, not just vegetables, fruits too. Pickled grapes, pickled plums, pickled apricots, pickled lemons, pickled cherries. The empire pickled almost everything. The reason was practical: no refrigeration, long winters, and a need to feed large urban populations. By the 1600s, Istanbul had hundreds of professional picklers working in shops throughout the city. Number 8. Salep, a hot, thick drink made from the powdered roots of wild orchids. Slightly sweet, slightly floral, served with cinnamon on top, it was the empire's winter comfort drink. Sold by street vendors throughout Istanbul from October through March, so popular that wild orchids were nearly hunted to extinction in some regions. Modern Turkey now protects wild orchids by law, and most commercial salep uses other thickeners. Some dishes traveled extraordinary distances to reach a single dinner. Number 9. Ice was a year-round luxury. The palace had ice carved from mountains in winter, packed in straw, transported by relay riders, and stored underground in special ice houses. By summer, it was nearly the price of silver per kilogram. Ottoman ice merchants sold to wealthy households throughout the empire. The Sultan's personal sherbet was always served cold, regardless of season. Number 10. Simit. The ring-shaped sesame bread that's now sold on every Istanbul street corner has Ottoman roots going back at least to the 1500s. Then, as now, it was a working-class breakfast, sold by vendors with stacked towers of bread on their heads. The Ottoman archives include complaints from the 1700s about simit vendors blocking traffic, which is still a complaint in modern Istanbul. Number 11. Manti. Hand-folded meat dumplings so small that a traditional measure of a cook's skill was how many would fit on a single spoon. The standard answer was 40. The dish came to the Ottomans from Central Asia, was refined in the palace kitchens, and was eaten at family feasts. A single serving could take a skilled cook several hours to fold. Modern Turkish grandmothers still make it. Modern Turkish children still complain about how long it takes. Number 12. Makun. A pulled candy made from boiled sugar syrup, fruit pulp, and flavoring. Sold on small sticks by street vendors, specifically aimed at children. The vendor would pull and twist the candy in front of the customer to entertain them. Makun vendors had their own street cries and informal codes. The candy almost disappeared in the 20th century, but has been deliberately revived as a heritage dish. Number 13. Coffee was once a capital crime. The first coffee house in Istanbul opened in 1554 and became wildly popular. By the early 1600s, Sultan Murad IV had banned coffee, banned tobacco, and made both punishable by death. He reportedly walked the streets in disguise and personally beheaded violators. Coffee survived him. The ban did not. Number 14. Lokum, Turkish delight. It was invented in the late Ottoman period, in the late 1700s, by a confectioner named Bekir Effendi. He developed a new method using cornstarch and refined sugar, both newly available in mass quantities, to produce a soft, chewable candy. He opened a shop near the Spice Bazaar. His descendants still run it. The candy went on to conquer the European luxury market. Number 15. Hamsi. Tiny anchovies eaten whole in vast quantities along the Black Sea coast. The Ottomans had over 40 different preparations for hamsi: fried, baked, in rice pilaf, in cornmeal porridge, in stews, even in desserts. Yes, hamsi desserts existed. The Black Sea region of the empire was so identified with this fish that there were folk songs about it, some still sung today. Number 16. Saffron rice. The Ottomans used saffron, the world's most expensive spice, in everyday palace meals. Rice cooked with saffron, lamb stewed with saffron, fish poached with saffron, even sherbets perfumed with saffron. The empire imported it from Persia in vast quantities. Less wealthy households used turmeric or marigold petals to imitate the color, but the palace insisted on the real thing. Number 17. Yogurt was a staple, eaten plain, in soups, as a sauce, mixed with herbs and cucumber, used to marinate meat, drunk as a salty beverage called ayran. The Ottomans gave yogurt its name in most European languages. The word comes from Ottoman Turkish, yogurmak, meaning to thicken or knead. Yogurt was so culturally important that complaints about poor yogurt quality reached the Sultan's court multiple times in imperial history. Number 18. Borek. Layered savory pastries filled with cheese, spinach, meat, or vegetables. The empire spread it across 3 continents, which is why versions of borek exist today in Greece, Bulgaria, Bosnia, Israel, Egypt, Algeria, and Tunisia, often under slightly different names. The Ottoman version used phyllo dough so thin it was nearly transparent. Skilled cooks could stack 20 or 30 sheets in a single pastry. Number 19. Dolma. Stuffed vegetables, grape leaves, peppers, eggplants, tomatoes, even quinces, filled with spiced rice, meat, herbs, or pine nuts. The empire had hundreds of dolma recipes. A skilled cook could prepare 12 different fillings in an afternoon. Today, every former Ottoman territory claims dolma as a native dish. They are all, technically, right. Number 20. And finally, the wedding sweet. At Ottoman weddings, the bride was traditionally fed a single piece of helva, a sesame paste sweet, by the groom's mother. It was meant to bind the families. The piece had to be made by the groom's family from scratch that day. The recipe varied by region, but the ritual was constant. The empire is gone. The ritual continues in many Turkish weddings today. The Ottoman Empire ate for 600 years across 3 continents. Most of what it ate is gone in any palace-grade form. The 1300 cook kitchen is a museum. The icehouse network is rubble. The saffron is now imported by ordinary supermarkets. But the food survived, not the imperial version, the home version. Every Turkish kitchen, every Bosnian household, every Greek grandmother making her version of dolma is making something an Ottoman empress would recognize. Empires fall, recipes don't. If you want more empires the history books skip past, subscribe. We look at the jobs that built the empire and disappeared with it.